Okay, so here is another computer. You should already know by now if you watch my videos where this came from, but I say it. This come from shopgoodwill.com. Don't know too much about it. It's supposed to have an i5 in it. They said it has no RAM in it, no SSD, no, I take that back. So they said it has no hard drive, no RAM and no hard drive. But in the pictures I seen RAM and I seen an SSD and a hard drive. So I don't know, and I think all they said was it posted to the BIOS. I can't remember exactly what it said. I guess I should have looked at their listing beforehand, but I believe they said it only had an i5. It is kind of dusty. This case isn't like one of the best cases in the world. It's pretty thin metal. You know, it's got a little dent up here, but that's nothing major. It looks like it came from the inside of the case. But you can see here, this thing is pretty light. Yeah, all the weight is coming from the top because the power supply is right up here. But we do have a DVD-ROM from LG. 2 USB 2.0s. We got headphone. No, that's a mic and a headphone. Your reset, your power. Looks like it could have had a fan in here, but I can tell it doesn't have a fan. Okay, so otherwise the case not being super high end. It's a little budget case. It's got some sticky residue here, but it isn't really scratched up to me. So you just go on this other side, and you can see it has ventilation here, so you can put 2 fans right here, 120 mil fans right here if you wanted to. The other side just plain, still no scratches. Got a little, looks like a little, maybe a scratch or a mark right here. Otherwise the case looks in really good shape. So then we have the power supply up here on top. Here's our motherboard, keyboard and mouse hookup, DVI, VGA, USB 3, 2 of them here, and an HDMI, 4 USB 2.0s, and then here's 2 USB 3s, and then got audio, looks 7.1 and Ethernet. Got a Wi-Fi card in here, and we do have the Quadra K something video card right here, so Wi-Fi and all that. So yes, they got 1 screw over here on this side panel here, none on the top. Then that's even the either it's stripped out or it's a wrong style thumb screw on it. So no other thing here. Just go ahead and remove this. Hopefully you can see pretty good. So removing the side panel. It's not really even dusty on the side panel. So it's a little, not really dusty, like someone tried to clean that. Because the rest of it, like I said, the rest of this, try to move this light over here, see if that helps. So yeah, like the rest of this is pretty dusty inside. So we do have the NVIDIA Quadra K620. This is kind of bent up and almost unhooked, so you just kind of get this out of the way. This is already unhooked. There's a Wi-Fi card. You could barely see the heatsink in here, and they said they pulled the hard drive, right? So here's a SSD still sitting in here. The hard drive was right here, so they pulled the hard drive, but they left the SSD. That's what I was worried about with this computer. Like, it was supposed to have been here yesterday, but it got delayed somehow. So I was like, is it going to have the SSD or not? Because, technically all they said they did was remove the hard drive. They didn't say nothing about removing the RAM, which I can see here has the RAM in it. I couldn't, in the pictures, all I could do is barely see, like maybe 2. It has 4 sticks of RAM in it, and it is, K-Air RAM. And then just go up here to to the power supply, we have an Antec 80 plus rated power supply. It's a 550 watt, and I do see at least one. There's another one. Here's a, looks like a 6-pin, and then we got a 6+2 Molex. Obviously no hard drive. There's a DVD-ROM, but yeah, we have 4 sticks of RAM in here, and all they did was remove the. All they removed was a hard drive. You can probably see it's relevant. It's pretty dirty, dusty inside. What is that? I can see it's a. So then we have a 250 gig Samsung Evo 840 SSD, and it does have the little brackets to mount in there, as you can see. So just hook this in and see what happens, and see if there's even an OS on here. Probably is, because they pulled the hard drive because I guess they don't have a way to wipe the drives like some of the other, like some of the other keep missing my words, right? So some of the good, Shop Goodwill has multiple sellers, right? How I can put this out. They have multiple sellers. Some of them have technicians there, people that can actually work on the computers, probably about, better than mine or a little bit the same as mine, skills on computers, right? So they do use programs to wipe the drives and reinstall an operating system, or they just leave the drives blank. So I do have it hooked into the video card through DVI, through DVI. I have my wireless keyboard and mouse hooked up, power plugs hooked in, switches off, monitors already set to DVI. Just cut that for a minute because I'm about to turn it on, and at least try. So you can see on the monitor, okay, hitting the power switch. This is another one of these boards that don't have, don't have an LED for like showing if there's power on the board. At least I don't see one. But it does. This board does have a M.2 slot on the board. It says SLI and Crossfire ready. Has a spot for USB 3 on the motherboard, so I'm probably gonna pull this motherboard and stuff out if this system works, and put it into the NZXT case and put that i7 3770K system into here. So you just hit this power button. Ooh. That sounded terrible, but that came from the DVD-ROM. Oh, that was pretty fast. And look, and it's gonna boot. Oh, I guess not. Okay, so it says boot failed detection. That was pretty fast. Why it said that. Okay, so you see. Load optional default, then boot. Guess I can't right click on that. Just okay, there we go. Just see if it's actually gonna boot or give us the same warning again. Yeah, and it has an OS on it, but it just turned off and did restart it. What is in this thing here? Okay, nothing's in there. Okay, it says the same thing again. See this, oh, that's annoying. When the system tries to boot in the operating system, it just turns itself off. See, let's unplug this. I was going to be prepared with the hard drive out already, but then I didn't remove it. So yeah, that's real nice of me, right? It's supposed to be prepared and don't even get prepared. Like, I got the hard drive, I got an extra power supply sitting over there. So maybe this thing is just, maybe it's overheating that quick. Okay, let's enter the BIOS. Another one of these that's got this crap on it. So you see what we have, and I think this freaking thing, I think these BIOS setups won't really tell you too much. So yeah, we don't have system info or nothing like that. BIOS. So I don't know. Maybe I need to wipe that drive, and hopefully it's not something wrong with it. It says we're running at 4.4 gigahertz. We're running. Oh, damn. CPU's at 63C. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe the CPU just shutting off because it's getting hot. Yeah, it's just sitting here in idle, and it's like CPU temperature 65. Huh. So just turn this off. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to like add thermal paste to it, so I'm gonna cut the video right here, and they freaking zip tied the fan wire to all the cables for the power supply. So that's gonna be nice. I have to cut all that anyways, but okay, I'm gonna cut this. The next part will be hopefully I can get this system not running so hot and get it to boot off the SSD. Then I'll put that in part of this video. Okay, I'm back, and you can see now the cooler is clean. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in out. Now you can actually see the heatsink. That's what our problem was. It was gumped up, and the thermal paste looked like they took the heatsink off and then just put it back on. Didn't even clean it. So I'm gonna set this back sideways again. I did add new thermal paste to it. I really don't like doing it like that, but I want to see the system booting, you know. So you just zoom back out. You see, so you can see that the monitor's hooked in. I hooked the SSD in. Hopefully there's no problem with the SSD. Like I said, I cleaned the heatsink off just a little bit, enough, you know, they can actually see it. Just cleaned it off with a little, you know, brush I have, and then same thing with the fan blades, and then, you know, clean the CPU and the bottom of the heatsink with, you know, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl, and then added, you know, fresh thermal paste to it. This Noxua thermal paste here. So yes, check that out. So we're good. So put this other thing off. Okay. So yes, hit the. Oh, I had it on. So hit the power switch. Make sure it's on. Everything's hooked in. Hit the power button again. That thing sounds rough, doesn't it? Like. You feel like it's trying to read a drive in there, and there's not one in it. So we got the logo. So I know what we're gonna do. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're doing something. Samsung SSD. You think it would do a lot faster? Yeah, before it was just. Even in, you seen, oh, so just move this up. So you want me to see that and see. Kind of zoom in a little bit. Pulse over. So yeah, it has 2 operating systems on it. Windows 10 and pre-Windows. So it's probably Windows 10 still. So you just try to boot in the Windows 10 and see what happens. So you can see that, right? So we're booting in. Okay, SSD should have been already on Windows already. So I probably need to do like a fresh install on this drive. Yeah, definitely need to do a fresh install on this drive. So yeah, what the hell? If we can, some SSDs go bad. They still work. You just can't write to them. So you can read to them all you want. Windows will boot up and run. Okay, so what we got? So we got this PC shortcut. We got something that says 133855. And then images. And auto deck. Recap 2016. What is this? Images. Yeah, that drive definitely seems pretty slow. We got down here some Chinese writing, it looks like. Yeah, it says Chinese. To switch. Then we got English mode. Click for more options. Did that load and we just got a blank picture? Just close it and reopen it. Okay, what the heck is that? Yeah, you saw. So you're in here. Hopefully you can see halfway decent. Let's open Task Manager up. Oh, no one even was even in here. Performance. Yeah, this seems pretty like this drive's like pretty slow. You see that? That says i7. And I already see this as 32. So for a system I bought, right? This is another system I paid really cheap for. Like, man. For what this is, it said i5. They said i5 on here. That's it. Nothing else about it. But yeah, it has an i7 4790K, 4 gigahertz. Then and we have 32 gigs of RAM. Okay, what the? Then obviously it shows us a Samsung 840 EVO 250 gig SSD. Oh my, yeah, this is like way better than I expected it to be, and hopefully you can see this, and see it pretty decent. Yeah, so a system that's supposed to have an i5, I think it said it had an i5 4690K. I think that's what the listing said it had, but it also said that it had no RAM in it, and they removed the hard drive, but they left the SSD in it, and it has RAM in it. It has 32 gigs of RAM, and this, it's good RAM. I don't know what else to say. Like, let's go into settings and see if it's activated or not. So yeah, it's saying it has Windows 10 Pro on it. Windows is not activated. We could not activate Windows on this device, as we cannot connect to your. It can't connect because there's no internet. So I don't know if it's activated or not, so I have to hook to the internet, which I don't know if I want to. Having all this crap on here, but yeah, if it has a key that they put in and they didn't activate it, it definitely, yeah, I'll probably have to set up another little private thing to get that to, where I can actually get that to see if it's activated or not. That'd be really nice too. So if it is activated, it has Windows 10 Pro on it, and that, you know, is, yeah, really nice. Like, but this is a serious old version of Windows. Like, really. See, like, that won't even open. I can't click any. Okay, here we go. Found it. So then, you know, obviously all this is going to show up. So we're sitting on Windows 10 Pro. It says version 2004. Change Windows key or upgrade editions. Yeah, that's crazy. So it is a way older version of Windows 10. Yeah, the video card driver's not on here either. So who knows? I'm gonna cut it right here at this point, since you actually seen it working. And we do have an i7. I'll repeat myself. We have an i7 4790K instead of an i5 4690K. Instead of no RAM, we have 32 gigs of RAM running at 1600 megahertz. And, you know, for them removing the hard drive, they left the SSD, which gives us a 250 gig SSD. Like, yeah, this system was definitely worth the money. If you think I got a good deal on the i7 3770K for $100, you'll definitely think this is a better deal. I'll look the price back up once I take this, do the next video, which will be, you know, the shorter video, because I just retransplant all this hardware into a better case, and then that other, the i7 3770K will go into this case, and then I'll have to wait for my, you know, wait for another video card to come in and pair this with a nice video card. Yeah, and I'm gonna take this Quadra K620, and I'm actually gonna put that in. It's gonna stay with this case, but I'm gonna put it with the i7 3770K, so it can do. I have seen people playing Fortnite on this. I watch a video. It's a 2 gig video card. You know, at least it'd be a good E machine. Not this motherboard here, but after I put the i7 3770K in it. Yeah, and Wi-Fi seems to work. It shows a Wi-Fi on it. Does it? Yeah, that drive definitely needs to be redone. Yeah, Wi-Fi is showing up. Yeah, okay, this is going to be the end of this video. You've seen, you know, me trying to boot it up. It boots. End up with a way better system. And the last thing I'll mention, this is a Gigabyte GA Z97X. That, and then it's UD3H. So it seems like a really nice motherboard. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. This is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I don't know what else they got running on this, but thank you for watching. The next video of this computer will be with it transplanted into a better case. And thank you for watching, and leave your comments in below. What do you think I paid for this? If you made it all the way to the end, it's like 20 some minutes. What do you think I paid for this? Or what would you pay for a system like this?